Hey, beautiful Gemini. Welcome to your tarot and oracle card reading for December. I am Teresa, Doctor of Metaphysics and Ascension Guide, here to bring a deeper meaning of the cards. So if you find value here, beautiful Gemini, please like and comment. That would help me to grow my channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, then please subscribe. It'll help others as well. And I thank you so very much. This is for your sun, moon, and rising. And while this reading is for December, my readings are timeless because timing is divine and so are you. If you find this at a different time, there will be something here for you. So this path reading is going to say where you are going in December and what your strengths are, what your challenges will be, what mountain you'll have to overcome. We'll get some advice cards from Spirit, and then we'll pull some oracle cards as well. God, Spirit, Universe, please bring truth, clarity, and wisdom to this reading for the Gemini family and help Gemini navigate to their highest and most blessed timeline. Thank you, Spirit. So Gemini, this is your signifier this month, the Nine of Wands. That's what you represent. This is a lot of work. This is burning the candle at both ends and carrying a heavy load, even doing other people's work. But it's real strong energy, okay? And it's working on your own. You know, it's carrying that load on your own, and it's being real wise about your work as well. It's being very mature. You know, it's like you've done this for a long time. You know what you're doing, okay? Other people may be coming to you for guidance and for advice, for help too. You know, the wands can be work, so they could be asking you for help as well. All right, so your path is High Priestess, Ace of Pentacles, and Six of Wands. The High Priestess is really connected to other people, connected to the whole universe. You know, you could see this as like Indra's web, you know, connecting all of the planets, all of the galaxies, right? Everything in the universe, like real connected energy. And also divine feminine, really receptive energy. You know, it's like, you're working smarter, not harder, right? Because this is Nine of Wands, is very active and hard work, whereas the High Priestess is very passive and receptive and like still, you know? So it feels like you're becoming much more effective at your work or how you use your body, you know? There could be physical healing here as well. And then the Ace of Pentacles is a seed. It's like Jack and the Beanstalk. It's that bean that's going to grow into a big beanstalk, you know, overnight, right? So yes, the Ace of Pentacles does take a long time to grow, but really, I mean, once it takes root, it grows super fast. Right? So you're co-creating something brand new with Spirit. You're setting an intention. You're planting a seed, making an investment, starting something very exciting. And the Six of Wands is really, I mean, the Six of Wands is victorious. It's coming back from war or coming back from a battle, having been victorious and being celebrated by other people. You know, it feels like for a lot of you, you know, with the Nine of Wands and the Six of Wands and the High Priestess and the Ace of Pentacles, this is like in work, getting a promotion. You know, that's the kind of energy we have here. You know, standing above the crowd, beating out the crowd. And here you are with the Ace of Pentacles in your hand. You're gifted something. And the pentacle is something physical. It's a person, place, or thing. You know, it's the earth element. You are being given a gift. And your path leads to the Princess of Cups and the Queen of Swords. So, you know, this fresh, beautiful new beginning, the Princess of Cups, like you can really feel the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You know, the Ace of Pentacles that you get, this is wish fulfillment, and the Princess of Cups is celebrating it. She's enjoying it. She is living her best life in some way. Really, I feel this eagerness for the future. You know, I feel real high vibes and like butterflies in your tummy for a lot of you. And then the Queen of Swords is clarity and wisdom. Again, like that Nine of Wands energy, there's maturity there. There's a lot of maturity there. And the Queen of Swords is really, you can see clearly now. You understand so much better, and I wanted to say so much better than others. You've changed, with the butterfly, and there's something very special here with this sword. This is a unicorn's horn. This is rare. You don't get those every day. So it feels like what you have to offer is very, very special, and or what is gifted to you is very special and precious and rare. Okay. And there is strong throat chakra energy here where you're saying your words, you're being more authentic, you're letting other people see who you are, you're clearer about who you are yourself as well. So therefore you can let other people know who you are in a better, more potent way. Okay. Like Gemini is, again, coming out of the chrysalis like a cocoon, like a butterfly, right? And so you're changed and letting other people see who you are. And then your gifts, your strengths on this path is Queen of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles, she creates her world. She is a strong and potent manifester. So you will be potent in manifesting. You will have the Midas touch in many ways. You will nurture the world into being. You'll have a green thumb for a lot of you in some way, whatever it is that you're manifesting. And then the Five of Pentacles, changing your values, changing how you invest your material resources. Fives are change. Pentacles is your earth element, right? So you could be changing where you live, and that could benefit you. You could be changing where you work. That could benefit you. You could change how you invest your money. That could benefit you. Something is going to make your path easier, and make your future brighter. Okay. And then your challenges are the Star and the Four of Wands. So with the Star, this is healing energy and being guided and guiding others too, and stepping out on stage. That could be tricky. Like you could not want to be seen. You could not want to follow the guidance or to guide others as well. That could be challenging for you. You may not feel like you're worthy of guiding others, or you may question the guidance that you receive, right? We'll get clarifiers for some of these, and we'll definitely clarify that one. Four of Wands is, it could be challenging for you to make a commitment. The Four of Wands is committing your energy to a person, place, or thing. And that's why sometimes it's called the marriage card or the homecoming card or the housewarming card, because you're planting your trees in a place, or you're planting your trees where you want to live, or in a relationship. Wands are usually flying through the air or in movement. And with the Four of Wands, you plant them into the ground and they take root, right? And so, in your challenge position, that can, you could have cold feet or something like that. You may not recognize the opportunity to do that as well. As far as challenges go, those aren't the most challenging cards. So, good for you, beautiful Gemini. And then your mountain is the Nine of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles. And this is interesting because you have the Nine of Wands here representing you, right? So you have 3 nines, and 3 nines means release. That's the angel number for release and forgive. Also, it's time to let go of what no longer serves you. So, it feels like for a lot of you, that could be a real theme here. That could be very difficult for you. Being a mountain, it could be difficult for you to recognize what you should release, to recognize the need to forgive yourself or others, that kind of thing. So, but I'll say the Nine of Swords keeps you up at night. There's a lack of sleep here, with the Nine of Swords. These are a lot of thoughts. The nines is a lot, and the swords is communication, information, and thoughts. It's your mental body. So you could just be thinking about a lot of things. You could be getting a lot of information. You could be trying to process a lot of communication, which could be keeping you up at night. I would say make sure to turn your TV off. Don't have your TV off in the bedtime, or any kind of screen time in the bedroom. Okay, that's the first thing. And then also be present, because in the Nine of Swords, we're either in the future where dread and fear live, or in the past where regret and resentment live, right? And there's nothing you can do about any of those. The only thing that you can do is be here now, and that's always the remedy for the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Pentacles is such a beautiful energy of a harvest and of being an entrepreneur and being self-sufficient. There's a lot of self-sufficient energy here. You know, the nine of the major arcana is the Hermit card. And the Hermit is alone, lives alone, connects to spirit alone and all that other stuff, right? So this could be a need for you to do that, to work alone, to be alone in some way, to keep your own company in some way. And that could be challenging for you, beautiful Gemini. But, you know, don't worry, because you're never alone. You're never, ever truly alone. Spirit is always with you, and Spirit has your back. And that's what the Ten of Wands is telling you, you know. So, you know, maybe just don't connect so much with the outside world, but connect more with the inside world, you know. The Nine of Pentacles also entrepreneurial, self-sufficient, growing your own garden, you know, doing it for yourself, doing it by yourself. And that's going to bring you more self-reliance and better results. Okay. And then your advice cards are Seven of Swords, Three of Wands, and Ten of Wands. Seven of Swords is don't have imposter syndrome. See yourself clearly. Know that you are loved, loving, and lovable. The universe wants you to be happy. And look here. This is a big, powerful stag who is also a guide, right? You're being called to be a guide. For a lot of people, you're being called to be a guide. You have the Seven of Swords here. You have the High Priestess here. And then you also have the Star card here, right? And then you have all those nines, which reflect the Hermit who stands on the mountain, holds his lantern, and shines his light as a guide to others. But when you see yourself, beautiful stag, you look in the reflection and you don't see those horns. You don't see that you're all white. You just see like a brown-colored little fawn. You know, and in some ways that's how you see yourself, Gemini, and that's not your truth. Right? So, you know, sometimes they say fake it till you make it, because once you step into that role and you assume that role, you'll realize I'm not faking it. You know, I'm actually that. I'm embodying that. And, you know, and Spirit wants you to know that. The sevens are a challenge, and the swords is your mentality. So it's like a mental challenge, you know, it's like trust. It's tricky, but you can do this, okay? And then the Three of Wands, the tide is high. You know, put your surfboard in the water. This is the time. It's not going to be like this forever. You know, this is a temporary energy that's going to ride you out to sea. So take advantage of, you know, strike while the iron is hot. And then you have the Ten of Wands. Push through this heavy, heavy, burdensome time, all this work, all this load of things to do, you know, with the Nine of Wands representing you here and the Ten of Wands in your advice card. It's saying you're almost at the end of the tunnel. You're almost at the goal. You know, you're about to be able to put your burden down. You've borne your own cross, you know, and pretty soon the payoff will come. But look, Spirit is helping you. Spirit is protecting you. You know, it's like footprints in the sand. Why didn't you carry me? Well, I did. That's why there's only one set of footprints. You know, trust that you can do this because Spirit is helping you. Okay. So let's get those clarifiers we talked about. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So I wanted to clarify these two, and I want to clarify this High Priestess. And lastly, I want to clarify your Nine of Wands. Thank you, Spirit. All right. So the Star card is with the Two of Swords. And this is an uneasy truce energy. And it's a pair of scissors, right? She cuts out what doesn't serve, you know, and gets clear. She closes her eyes and gets in tune with spirit, with her God's guides and guards. She says her prayers, and then she is so much more effective at decision making and that kind of thing, And with the star, that's what we do. We follow the star, we follow our guidance. That could be tricky for you this month, to trust what you hear, to trust what you receive. It could also be tricky for you to choose healing, to choose yourself, to get up on the stage. You may have to cut something out in order to do so. And maybe you don't want to cut that out, like that you have to or whatever. And then the Four of Wands is clarifying Four of Wands. So, it's as a challenge, that is truly saying it's challenging for you to accept this time of commitment, to accept this kind of end goal. The Four of Wands is a finish line. Hey, I've made it to this point. I can solidify my place here, So recognize that and trust that Spirit wants that for you. Okay. And then we're going to look at the High Priestess with the Tower. So the Tower is taking off your mask. It is being humbled. It's getting grounded, and it is clearing the way, making a pile of ashes of anything that is in your way. And the High Priestess is that receptive energy. So it just feels like Spirit is bringing you whatever it is that you need in order to be that guide, to be the light in the hermit's lamp on the top of the hill. That's what the High Priestess is, right? So things will fall away that obstruct that path for you. And this hard work, this heavy load, the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Wands is with the Emperor. You are the boss of your life. You are the master of this life. You're doing this for a reason. And again, this kind of alone energy, it's lonely at the top, I want to say. You are a sovereign, and that comes with a price. You're paying that price. The Emperor also creates boundaries and barriers, right? He puts up walls around him, and he sets rules, and he makes budgets and things like that. It's like getting things in order. And by doing that, your life will be made easier. Okay. Now let's get some oracle cards for beautiful Gemini. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. All right. Oracle cards, Gemini, December. Thank you. Okay. All right. So you have deep emotions, unknown feelings, past life influences. So a lot of what you're experiencing right now is healing that comes, especially with the High Priestess in your reading. It's healing that comes, and connection and intuition that comes from past lives, that comes from your subconscious. It can be repressed feelings and forgotten memories as well. Deep repressed energy and memories can cause you to act ways that you don't understand why I'm acting that way. So it feels like those are coming to light. And I really think that Nine of Swords has a lot to do with it as well, right? Like you could be losing sleep because you're remembering things that happened to you when you were younger, and just know that that's part of the healing process, right? That's why the High Priestess is there, to help you remember. And then tenderness, true love, and compassion. I want to say love yourself and be compassionate to yourself, really, with all those nines. But, I will say that you are loved, loving, and lovable, and Spirit wants you to be happy. And you might be, getting married or up-leveling in your relationship in some way, and being in a challenging position. It's saying, be tender with the other, be tender with yourself, be compassionate, right? And then you have lunar god, the masculine, and new moon, new beginnings. And I want to point out that there is this arbor here, or a trellis here, that really, really reflects that Four of Wands energy. This is new beginnings. This is happy times. Accept this for yourself. And then lunar god, the masculine. This is like the divine masculine makes things happen and goes out and gets things, right? You have the divine feminine here with the high priestess. You definitely have the divine masculine with the emperor and the 9 of wands. This is like, go for it, make it happen, do the thing, right? And it also has that arbor kind of appearance to me as well. All right. So I love this for you, beautiful Gemini. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being you. And I'll see you next time. Peace.